All right, guys. So I know that YouTube is filled with different, different algorithms when it comes to the manosphere. A lot of the algorithms, some guys like to just what some guys like to do is they like to take a couple of clips, come back with their commentary, and then go on with that. That seems to be the main source of information that we're getting is from that way, where what they'll do is they'll take the clips, get the information, and then give their opinion on the information that they have gotten. So when it comes to the gender war, when it comes to the modern woman and everything like that, it's gotten to a level, as I said in previous video, of no return. We're at the point of no return. As a matter of fact, let me actually read this, and this came from my teacher. May Allah preserve him. Let me see what he said about. Let me see what he said about it. Um, Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna look for it real quick. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Because he wrote something about the new year that was very telling. And I listened to my teachers. If I can find the post. All right. Okay. So, my teacher, or one of my teachers, I should say, may Allah preserve him, he said that no year will come except that it will be worse than the prior year. Be patient with 2024. So, what I'm saying is that in terms in terms of the the gender relations, in terms of some sort of normalization between the gender relations in the Western world, that is a bygone thing. That is bygone. As a matter of fact, every single day when I have to, because through the grace and mercy of Allah, and through Him helping me out and seeing me through, and allowing me to keep my head all the way down, I'm working remote. I'm working out of my house, alhamdulillah. But anytime I step out of my house, I see that there is no normality in terms of gender relations. I see that, even me, if a woman gets too close, I step away. Now, granted, when I was younger, when I was like a younger like kid even, or when I was a teenager, it was actually quite different, you know. But had I still been in Africa, shoot, maybe I may be 10 years old now. I would have been already promised to marry someone, you know. But since I left and I've witnessed what has happened here, I realized that it will never, ever be the same again. There will never, ever be any normality again. Okay? And it's just crazy that so many factors have led to it being almost like a simulation. Like this thing that we're living in the West, that I am leaving very, very soon, inshallah. This thing that we're seeing is very, very weird. Um, I will say even, okay? I will even say this. This, as crazy as it sounds, I will even say this. Even although I love my Muslim brothers for the sake of Allah, of course, but even like traditional Muslims have adopted the same kind of cultural terms. I would never ever thought I would hear high value men come out of like some of these people's mouths that are Muslims. I never even thought I would hear or see Muslim brothers selling courses about being a Muslim alpha or something like that, because by default, if you're adhering to the book and the sunnah, you're already alpha. You don't even need no course. I mean, you already have that covered. And if you want to take it a step further, if you decide to practice the behavioral sciences, the spiritual sciences, the inner spiritual sciences of Tasawwuf, then that will put you at Sigma. That'll raise you to Sigma. You'll be out of the social hierarchy completely if you decide to practice those social sciences. Because one of the things about being a Sigma, and one thing about practicing what we call tasawwuf, one thing about practicing that, one of the spiritual exercises that we call riyada, is solitude. Solitude, contemplating God. So that's one of the prerequisites. But what I'm trying to say is that it's so crazy right now. And I'm going to be honest with you. People, the thing is, TikTok in China is different. You see Chinese people inventing things, adding innovation, and things like that. Amongst their population issues and things, they're not really like worried about that in terms of putting it on social media, right? But the Chinese TikTok is different than the Western TikTok. The West, and this is the point of this video, the Western TikTok has basically shown you everything you need to know about the Western woman, because no matter what their age are, no matter what the age is, there's one thing you can count on about these women, is that it's a the algorithm of TikTok basically The algorithm promotes misandry. The algorithm promotes just the feminism. The algorithm promotes everything anti-men. And the reason that is because the Chinese with because they are so highly intelligent, the Chinese know that if you don't have the genders working together, then there's no chance that pretty much nothing, then society is not going to function fluidly. They know this. So that's why, for example, when you see Chinese, you see men and women doing their thing, this, that, and the other. And I mean, China is just expanding, growing, doing like good things over there. Not gonna lie to you. Now, them attacking Taiwan, I can't blame them because the United States is pushing them into it. So, do I blame them? Absolutely not. I don't blame them. But that's another story for another time. But what I'm trying to get at is that, most of the time, the women who talk about us on TikTok, they already have therapists, okay? However, they still use TikTok as therapy. They still use TikTok to 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 narrate their dating stories. They still use TikTok to talk about these things. They still use TikTok as like a therapy, and they already have a therapy. Like so my point of this video is to show that talking to a therapist isn't enough for them, right? So they have to even use a social media application to talk and spill their hatred of men. So what I'm getting at is that yes, it is too late. We are very too much far gone. Okay. I used to, back in the day, you know, and maybe Allah has a wisdom behind it. But back in the day, I used to hate, even saying that I'm African or whatever the case may be. Now seeing, what kind of culture that my family have back home, seeing that marriages are still happening back home on a daily basis, seeing that children are still being born back home on a daily basis, I wear that crap on my chest, even if I do it quietly. I wear that crap way on my chest, like Superman has the S on his chest, just like that. But seeing what the West has become is like just crazy with how TikTok is now the means of these women's therapeutic hatred for men. Now, the crazy thing about it is a lot of times these women don't get banned off of TikTok. A lot of times these women, if you respond back to them, you'll get banned off of TikTok. It's just very, very crazy. And so, just, yeah, there is no hope for gender relations in this country. I will be honest. Any Western country for that matter, there is no hope for gender relations. Okay, like they're gone, they're gone. It's finito. Like it definitely is finito. If she's from a Western country, yeah, it's done. Yeah, you can kiss it goodbye. Because I try to avoid that on my TikTok algorithm. I try to actually do something else on my TikTok algorithm. Try to have some different things. For example, let me show you what kind of things I try to have on my algorithm. يرتدد منكم عن دينه فسوف ياتي الله بقوم فسوف يأتي الله بقوم يحبهم ويحبونه أذلة. Now, the reason why I showed that is this is an African Muslim Chad, okay? He's in the army, but he still knows Quran, okay? This is what would be a true, like, African like Giga Chat, like Giga Halal Chat. But I try to stay away from the algorithm. I try to stay away from the algorithm of you know of these you know these women. I try not to do them, and so what I'll do is I'll do something like this. Like I'll make edits. And the reason why I make edits, so I can have that on my algorithm. So I'll make an edit like this. Shout outs to my people of the Caucasus. I love you guys. And, the lady over there that she knows who she is. Shout outs to you too. But anyhow, yeah, I'll try to do things like this so I can have so I won't see that algorithm, because the women just use it, and I hate to say it, but that algorithm is energy draining if you really encounter it, because all they're doing is just bashing men. There's even one woman who will tell you how to manipulate men. They will even like tell you how to manipulate men. It's very crazy. But I'll do things like this to do a different algorithm. That edit was done by me, by the way. But yeah, man. Yeah, the gender relations are just gone here. There's no point in complaining about it. At this point, I'm just going to end the video with this. At this point, I'm not saying wave the white flag for the gender war. I'm not saying just wave the white flag, but what I am saying is that I guess change your front. Like change your front to the gender war from like being like, how should I say it? From being overly vocal about it versus maybe, I don't know, maybe there is, because the problem is a lot of people don't read, and a lot of people just use social media. Because I'm thinking that another front on this could be through the writing of articles. I was even thinking about it myself, writing articles, and not just towards one certain group, but just the whole Western society in general. But anyhow, leave your thoughts and leave your comments about this. I just wanted to talk about it real quick. Fool is signing out. Njara.